I get a ton of questions privately through DMs, through Instagram, and on here. But this is one of the questions I get the most: is what is the main thing keeping most men stuck in boy psychology? Now, there's an answer that I'm going to give to this as to why later and how to start doing that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what you need to stop doing first and foremost. And I'm going to play you a clip by Pete Wicks and a woman named Jameela, where she's discussing what a real man is. And what I'm going to say before I even play this is the thing that you need to absolutely stop doing if you want to move from boy psychology to man psychology. You need to stop listening to women trying to define what a real man is. I'm going to play the clip now and then I'll get into why later on.
The more macho I find a man to be, the more obedient and submissive he's likely to be, the more he's likely to go and do an obedient, submissive job, like be in the army or do whatever, follow orders from another man. The men who are the most in touch with their feminine side are the most rebellious, strong men I've ever met. The more in touch with the man's feminine side he is, the more power he seems to be able to acquire.
So she's had a rip on men joining the army when men are hierarchical, for starters. The other part is that she says the more power men are able to acquire, the more in touch with their feminine side they are. So based on this rhetoric, apparently, according to women like this, we live in a tyrannical patriarchy. By virtue of that, we must be ruled by a bunch of men that have acquired so much power because they're in their feminine side. So which is it? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Because the very men that a woman like this would demonize are the ones that she's saying are most in touch with their feminine side. Let's continue.
There is such a disobedience to going, F off, I will embrace my feminine side and I won't fear it. My boyfriend is a man who has got femininity within him. And when I say that, I mean sensitivity. Yeah. He's a sensitive man. He's the manliest man I've ever met. And people presume because I'm so strong and I'm so outspoken, I must be with some like weak.
So she's so strong and so outspoken, which is a sense of disagreeableness, which is actually a very masculine trait. You can go back and watch one of my other videos where I point out how Harvard actually proved that masculinity was stereotypical. Now, what she's saying here is that she's disagreeable. So the disagreeableness, masculine men won't tolerate this. And she'll go on to say that a weak man couldn't handle me. No, it's actually, she could only be with a weak man to tolerate this kind of behavior, because masculine men wouldn't put up with a woman like this. Masculine men that are not in boy psychology wouldn't really find this attractive. They wouldn't find this kind of attitude something that they would like to be around. You know, someone strong and so outspoken and disagreeable. I can tell you from working with tons of very masculine men that they're not going to find this attractive. I don't find it attractive. I actually find it quite annoying. It grates on men. And I could guarantee her boyfriend would be more submissive to her than she would be to him.
Like cuck, simp type, where it's like, no, a weak man couldn't handle me. His masculinity is so firm, nothing threatens it. Not his femininity and not mine. That's a real man.
When boys stay stuck, or when men stay stuck in boy psychology, there's a reason for that. And the reason why is because they haven't gone through the relevant initiation. Now, in every culture, this is cross-cultural, by the way, anthropologists have linked all of this back to one thing. Why do we stay stuck in boy psychology? Because we haven't split from the maternal influence through rites of passage, through initiations, or being taken by the men into the relevant hardship to become a man. The first step of any initiation for a boy to become a man was to separate from the mother. So boys left the female sphere and entered into male warrior camps or initiation houses. Why is this? And bear in mind, okay, bear this in mind. We're the only culture really ever that has stopped rites of passage for boys. That's why you've got women like this saying, I know what a real man is better than what men do. She has no fucking idea. She's not spent a day as a man. She wasn't born a man. She isn't a man. She has no idea what it takes to be a man, and she's trying to define what a real man is. It's rubbish. And what would happen is when the boys go through this process, in so many cultures, there would be an element of scarification or bloodletting, as in releasing the blood from parts of the body. It could be the hands, the back, scarification through multiple cutting to bleed out. Why did they do this? because women get initiated biologically into womanhood through their period. Men would cut themselves to bleed into the earth like the woman to drain any maternal influence out of them. Then they would have to wear that mark, and they would have something to live up to, a standard by virtue of gaining the mark on the body that they would have to live up and leave the old behind, and it would be draining any maternal influence out of them. This is why it's so important to not listen to this modern ideological woke garbage, because that's what it is. It's absolute rubbish. It's not about making the boy more like a little girl before he can become a man. It doesn't work like that. In fact, in most of the old rites of passage and initiations, in fact, almost, well, I think all of them actually, I just haven't examined every single culture that ever existed. In Gilbert Hurt's Guardian of the Flutes, he came to the conclusion that women were completely forbidden from the process. Even in matrilineal societies, the women would still give the boys to the men. It's always about the men raising boys into men. Women can't do it. They'll never be able to do it. Erich Neumann, in his book, The Origins and History of Consciousness, which I would absolutely recommend reading for people that are interested in this, the boy must psychologically separate from the great mother archetype and enter the masculine world. Without this step, he remains psychologically fused with the maternal domain. This is everywhere. And you've got women like this telling them that the boy or the man is only a real man by being in touch with the side that he's meant to divorce himself from as a child. Can you see the madness and why men are so fucking stuck these days? This is the shit that you need to stop listening to and start listening to men that have been initiated. Not your Andrew Tate styles, not your Justin Wallers, not your manosphere bullshit. That will take you to a certain element. But this is about deep initiation from transforming boys from boy psychology into accountable men. And in today's society, without rites of passage, no elder male mentorship, no formal transition into manhood, guess what happens? There's an increasing link by anthropologists to prove that it extends boy psychology. So, if you're interested in starting the journey, sign up to my email below. There'll be multiple emails coming out every week to help blow the lid off this stuff, because the shit that I just showed you is the problem that is invading our spaces for men today. Stop listening to women of what it means, of what a real man is, of what they think a real man is, because they can only ever see masculinity through a feminized lens. You are not a woman. You're not meant to ingratiate yourself with some feminine side that you need to integrate before you can become a man. No, it's about becoming gender opposites of that. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Sign up below. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.